So, my pretty readers, I know it's been a year since I posted this story, and after living at home from last 1 month, my mind is flooding with different ideas. So, finally, I'm back with the things I broke that many of you are asking from last 1 year. I know I'm a bit late, but I tried my best to make your reading worth it. So enjoy it on your whole self, and if you are getting irritated by my voice, just mute it because YouTube is restricting my videos on saying it's AI generated, so I have to put on my audio as well. Happy reading, and let's get started. Some people lose the love of their life. Others lose themselves while loving the wrong person. Min Yoongi belonged to the second kind. From the outside, he had everything a person could dream of. He was one of the youngest CEO in Seoul, respected by his employees, admired by his investors, and known for turning impossible business deals into a success. His company was growing every year. After his father he take over the Kim Corporation, his name appeared in magazines and people called him a genius. But no one knew that behind every achievement stood a woman named Hannah. She had been with him for 7 years, 7 long years of promises, 7 years of late night calls, 7 years of dreaming about a future together. Yoongi had loved her with every piece of his heart. He trusted her enough to believe she would once become his wife. He had already picked the rings, he had already planned the proposal, he had already imagined growing old with her. But life has a cruel way of laughing at the plans we made. Our ordinary afternoon, Yoongi arrived at a luxury hotel for when he thought was a business lunch with Hana. Instead, he found her smiling, sitting at a table with another man, not just sitting, laughing, holding his hand. The engagement ring Yoongi had secretly brought suddenly felt heavy inside his heart. For a moment, he convinced himself that there had to be an explanation. Maybe it was a sign. Maybe he was misunderstanding anything. Maybe it just a sign. Then he heard her voice. And suddenly that love doesn't pay the bills. His entire world stopped. He didn't even look guilty. She calmly stood up and walked toward him. I was going after signing the investment deal. Yoongi stared at her, unable to speak. His lips moved, but no word came out. Hannah sighed, as if she were a victim. He's Richard. These two words shattered everything inside him. I've spent 7 years waiting for you to become successful enough to give me the life I wanted. I can't wait anymore. Yoongi looked at the man beside her. The investor smiled smugly. I am sure you'll understand, he said. Understand? What to understand? How was he supposed to understand that the woman he had loved for almost a decade had played a price on his heart? Without another word, Yoongi turned around and walked away. Probably Hannah doesn't know that Kim Yoongi is the only son of Kim Namjoon, the billionaire CEO of Kim Corporation. According to her, Yoongi is just someone who is struggling with his liver. But it's not true. Yoongi has started his own company, another name, another thing, another personality in his life. He is the fear of pure cooperation, but he wanted to build something from his life. He never looked back at her. The following week felt like an endless winter. Yoongi's parents see him in the worst state of mind. He stopped answering calls, stopped calling anyone, stopped eating, stopped going anywhere. It's like the first heartbreak Kim Yoongi ever did. His office became silent. His house became slow. And Namjoon and Jin, I just can't explain the ache of their heart to see their only son like this. Namjoon and Seokjin tried everything. They dragged him out of the dinner, forced him to work, even stayed at his apartment so he wouldn't be alone. But nothing relieved him. Every room reminded him of Anna. Every song reminded him of her laughing. Every sunrise reminded him that another painful day had begun without her. Month passed, the pain didn't reduce. It simply became quieter, more dangerous. One rainy evening, Yoongi drove without knowing where he is going. The road blurred beneath the rain. His windshield wipes moved back and forth, but they couldn't clear the emptiness clouded his vision. Eventually, he stopped near the Han River. The bridge stretched endlessly across the dark water. Car paused behind him. No one noticed. The lonely men stepped lowered the railing. Yoongi looked down. The river below was silent, peaceful. Maybe it could finally silence the storm inside him, too. He climbed over the railing. Cold rain soaked his clothes. His finger trembled as he looked into the darkness below. His parents were gone. One day he will be alone again. And Yoongi just can't imagine to be alone. He is too afraid. A woman and loved had abandoned him. Success meant nothing. Money meant nothing. There was not a single reason left to keep breathing. He closed his eyes. One step. That was all it would take. His body leaned forward suddenly. A hand grabbed his wrist and tightly it hurt. No. Yoongi's eyes snapped open. A small figure struggled desperately to pull him back. Please. The voice cracked. He was too strong. The young man wrapped both hands around Yoongi's waist and used every bit of strength he had. I don't know who are you. From unknowing he was strong, but he didn't use like this. With the final pull, he stumbled backward onto the bridge. Both of them fell onto the resonant stone. For several seconds, neither of them spoke. The stranger sat beside him, drinking slowly. His light brown hair was soaked from the rain. His oversized sweater clung to his small frame. His cheeks were red and kind, yet despite everything, this needed. A tiny, gentle, almost unbelievable small smile. He scared me. Yoongi stared at him. Why? The young man blinked. Why what? Why did you save me? Yoongi asked. The stranger looked toward the dark river before answering softly. Because I know what it feels like to believe no one would miss you. Finally felt the breath again. Yoongi turned his head. The boy was not looking at him anymore. Instead, he was watching the sunrise beginning to point the edge of the sky with soft shade of orange. It's 3 mornings only here. So what? The stranger smiled again. I promised myself something a long time ago. Yoongi Disgusted, irritated. What? Yeah. No matter how hard life, I'll never make a decision before watching one more action. The stranger said, please follow his gaze, like the gaze pulled it. The first golden light shone appeared over him for the first time in months. He noticed how beautiful the world was. The stranger stood up and dusted off his own clothes, having many fashion. He offered his hand. He looked at it for a long time. For a reason he couldn't explain, he accepted. Kim Young-gi. Jimin smiled brightly. So what? You survived another night, the stranger said, whose name is Jimin. For the first time in nearly 7 months, the corner of Yoongi's lip lifted into the smallest smile he could ever give. He didn't know it yet, but the stranger who pulled him away from the death was about to become the reason he wanted to live again. The morning after they met on the bridge, Yoongi woke up expecting the previous night to feel like a dream, but it was not. The damn jacket hanging near his door, the scraped palm from falling onto the bridge, and the unfamiliar warmth in his chest reminded him that someone had stopped him from making the biggest mistake of his life. For the first time in morning, he picked up his phone. One contact set at the top of his recent calls, Jimin. Yoongi stared at the name and revealed, and for several minutes before typing a short message. Thank you for last night. A few seconds later, this phone buzzed. Good morning, Mr. Stranger. Have you eaten breakfast yet? Yoongi couldn't help letting out a quiet laugh. No one had asked him that for a long time. No, he replied. Another message from instantly. Talk to you. Meet me in 30 minutes. I'll buy you breakfast. Jimin was not rich. He didn't wear expensive clothes or own luxury cars. He worked at a small private cafe helping the elderly owner every day. The pay was not much, but Jimin never complained of. When he arrived, he found someone arranging fresh flowers while humming softly to himself. The cafe smelled like coffee, roses, and freshly baked cakes. It felt peaceful. He actually came. Jimin smiled so brightly that Yoongi found himself smiling back. I said I would. He replied, good, so sit down. Jimin placed a warm bowl of soup in front of him. You look like someone who hasn't eaten properly in weeks. Yoongi lowered his eyes. Months, he replied. Jimin's smile faded for a moment. Without saying anything, he pushed his phone toward Yoongi. Then start with today. It was not a grand gesture, it was not expensive, but somehow that simple bowl of soup tastes warmer than any 5-star meal Yoongi had ever eaten with her. Days soon turned into weeks. What started as a breakfast became lunch, then became evening walks. Soon they were talking every day. Jimin never asked about Yoongi's money or his company. He literally don't know about anything. He just knows that Yoongi is the son of a billionaire from London. He didn't even know how billionaire sounds or how billionaire looks. To him, Yoongi was just a simple man who just came every day to meet. To him, Yoongi was not a famous CEO that everyone knew. He was simple Yoongi, someone who smiled too little, someone who needed company, someone who talked less like he don't want to talk anymore, but somehow Yoongi ended up listening to him. One afternoon, Jimin dragged Yoongi to a small playground. There, he pointed at the empty swing set. I'm 30, Jimin. Yoongi said, and I'm too old for swings. Jimin rolled his eyes dramatically. You're also too old to sulk, but here we are, inside, before sitting down on the swing. Moment later, Jimin began to shoot the swing from behind, higher, higher, until Yoongi laughed. Then he laughed. For not forced, not polite, the sound echoed through the empty park. Jimin felt slow laugh. When he looked back embarrassed, what? I've never heard you laughing this way. I don't laugh that much, he replied. You should. Jimin smiled softly at him. It suits you. Those simple words stay with you long after they left the park. Month passed, the cold winter melted into the springs. Cherry blossom covered the streets of Seoul. Like little by little, he began living again. He returned to the work, started reading again, started eating again. His employees whispered that their CEO looked happier than he had in years. Namjoon noticed it first. You've changed. Yumi looked up from his coffee. Have I? He asked to his father. You smile now. Seokjin grinned. And you check your phone every 5 minutes. Yoongi immediately lit his screen. I do not. He hesitantly tried to cover up. You absolutely do. The both of his parents burst into laughing. So Namjoon leaned forward. Who's Jimin? Yoongi nearly choked on his coffee. How do you know that, Appa? You smile every time he texts, Jin said, and pat his son's head. We are your parents. We notice everything and we know everything where our son is going. Yoongi stayed silent. Because of the first time he realized they were right. Somehow between shared meals, long night conversations, and peaceful walks, his heart had quietly fallen in love again. After a few days later, Yoongi invited Jimin to a dinner. Not at an expensive restaurant, not at a luxury hotel. Instead, he took him back to the Han River Bridge. The place the first Jimin smiled at big ship beside the railing. I never thought I used to hate this place. And now we're before we could speak, he slowly his voice trembled. It was my first meeting. My plans slowly disappeared. I almost threw it away, but then I realized it was not the wind of humanity. It was only waiting for the compassion. You saved me. You saved my rescue. You gave me a reason to wait for the moment. You taught me that life doesn't have to hurt. He opened the window completely. He didn't know he did not watch me. He didn't know me. Myself, he didn't cover his mouth, just cover my eyes. He never covered my eyes, just to find my experience. He really just put me out of my finger, that first time when I was a little bit the morning before school. A month later, the wedding was scheduled. Something beautiful, only close friends and family arrived. And we walked over with a large envelope. This is not money. Jimin blinked at his father window. Then what is it? Green. Open it. Inside was a document of a beautiful house on the house He approached with his food, a cozy home surrounded by trees and fountains, a beautiful penthouse that David thought was herself. Because Namjoon don't believe in teaching their sons to live themselves. They believe they are young and they are supposed to live with each other. When they need them, they will be there. But for now, they should live on their own self. We wanted you to have this place where every memory would happy, Namjoon said softly. Jimin's eyes filled with tears again. He lost his parents, and Namjoon and Jin never let him believe that he ever lost his parents. You don't have to do this, Yoongi said. We wanted to, they replied. Yoongi wrapped an arm around Jimin's shoulder for the first time in years. He truly felt like he had a family. As they drove toward their new home, hand in hand, neither of them noticed that somewhere else in the city, a woman was sitting in a business magazine. Her eyes landed on a familiar photograph. CEO Kim Yoongi marries Jimin. The smile on her lips slowly disappeared. You moved on. She whispered the word with disbelief. Then her expression hardened. If I can't have you, her fingers tightened around the magazine until it crumbled. I'll make sure no one else does. Far away, Yoongi and Jimin laughed together as they stepped into their new home, their new beginning, completely unaware of that happiness they fought so hard to build had just become someone's next target. The first year of Yoongi and Jimin's marriage was everything they had ever dreamed. Their home was not a big. Their home was a boutique in the building, but was filled with all the luggage. It was not most luxurious, but it was filled with laughter. Every morning, Jimin woke up before Yoongi to make breakfast. He would tell me anything they could simply hire a chef. A house doesn't become a home because of its food. When Jimin would say with a smile, it became a home because someone is waiting for you. Yoongi never argued after it. Instead, he would sleep from behind while he cooked, resting his chin on Jimin's shoulder. Good morning, husband. He would laugh. You say that every single day. Because every single day I still can't believe you married me. Jimin would gently pat his forehead. Their evenings were just a peaceful. Sometimes they watched old movies while sharing popcorn. Sometimes they danced in the living room. No more. Other nights they simply sat on the balcony wrapped in wonderland and watching the stars. And we often thought back to the days when he had wanted everything to end. But someone had told him that one day he'd be laughing in a warm home beside the person he loved the most. He never would have believed. Jimin had become his voice, and he had become Jimin's secret. For the first time in his life, my concern had felt alone. One Monday morning, he adjusted his tie before leaving for work. Jimin fixed his throat collar. You'll never learn how to wear the tie properly. I have to and that is fine, Martha. And he smiled without hesitation. When I come behind you, Jimin said, I was kissing the tea. Have a good day. You. We had no idea these ordinary words could go on from. Good afternoon, he was listening to the office. Investor from HG Group. Alright, Yoongi nodded without looking at someone that was standing in. The conference room was full open. Several executives walked inside them. His heart beat stopped. Standing among them was someone he hadn't seen in almost 3 years. Long back hair, the same confident smile, the same cold eyes. He looked at him as no time had passed. Hello. The room suddenly felt suffocating. His finger tightened around his chin. Every twinkling memory rushed back. the betrayal, the hotel, the tears, the update. Jimin looked behind him. Yoongi could have been honest now. We are old friends, and the expression remained unreadable. No, his wife was calm. All accusers, just colleagues. The meeting continued professionally. Yoongi looked at Hannah unlike it was necessary. He discussed numbers and teamwork, contract, investment, nothing more. When the meeting ended, even during leaving, etc., he stayed behind. I see you thinking, gathered his style. So have you? She smiled. You look happy. I am. You married quickly. Yoongi finally met her eyes. I married the person who loved me. For the first time, Hannah smiled fluttered. So you really forgot me? Yoongi answered without emotion. No, I simply stopped loving you. He walked past her without another word. Behind him, Hannah nail dug onto the palm of her hands. For the first time in years, someone had rejected her, and Hannah was not someone who accepted the losing. That evening, Yoongi returned home. Jimin was waiting, watering the flowers in the small garden. The moment he saw Yoongi's car, he smiled brightly and waved. Yoongi felt every ounce of tension disappear. He walked over and wrapped Jimin in his arm. He blinked. What happened? Nothing. Then why are you hugging me so tightly? Yoongi closed his eyes. I just missed you. Jimin laughed softly. You've only gone since morning, I know, but I still missed you. They stayed like that for several moments before walking inside together. During dinner, Jimin noticed Yoongi unusually quiet. Something happened at work. Yoongi hesitated, then decided honesty was better. I met Hannah today. Jimin looked up. The woman you love. Yoongi shook his head. No, I don't love her anymore. I love you. She's just a pass. Jimin asked, how do you feel? Yoongi reaches across because making you are isn't that illegal? The window without a window. I didn't ask for your opinion, but I was pretty sure what I wanted to know. Right inside my head, I was feeling for opinion and feel curious. I felt frustrated with love. Completely neglected the same girl, and without noticing I had already decided to destroy everything they had there. Because the most innocent thing I never knew that I don't have people. They are the ones who become my life. You were always the first to belong to them. Women don't live in any insecurity. You can only have just as the life became one. The same time is perfect. We always need insecurity. We don't have to be but Hannah and the beginning as an investor, as someone who is passionate in out of the box. When I what should I say about him? A nice boy, a nice slut. Yoongi warned her, shouting at her in the middle of restaurant. Hana looked at him and showed him the pictures. Yoongi looked at the pictures and his insecurity, his old wounds, his everything come out instantly. Jimin is sitting with someone else, holding hands and just about to kiss. Yoongi's insecurity burned out as Hana looked at the eyes that fell on the tears. She said, Yoongi clearly denied to trust her. He yelled, he screamed at her, and Hana just said, It's hard to believe, Yoongi. Why this always happened to you, baby? And she just left. Yoongi left with doubts, with insecurities, with old wounds that Hana already cheated on him, and now Jimin. Why everyone can cheat on him? Is he that easy to cheat, or is it that easy to fool? Yoongi became distant to Jimin as he stopped talking much. He don't know what should he do. When he thought that Jimin can't do this, he finally get normal with him as Hana took out some more fake evidence to prove that Jimin is cheating on him, and finally Yoongi believed him. But he didn't say anything. When he reached home, he was drunk. He was just seriously shouted at Jimin and hated it. In the morning, he wakes up Jimin told him that he was having a baby. Jimin is pregnant. Jimin hardly cried. He don't know his baby is dead. He just thought the affair Jimin did. Jimin cried for months. He cried for months and didn't go with anyone. Doctors came and not anywhere. Someone asked him, asking him to fight with him, and Yoongi only yelled at him, saying that I don't even know that your baby is fine or not. He threw the pictures on Jimin's face, that what is it? Jimin crying and said, This is all lie. I didn't do anything. I'm innocent. You trust me, but you didn't. The old man not let him to trust Jimin anymore. They became distant, but Yoongi didn't do anything to remove Jimin from his house. His heart belongs to him and he can't forget it, but the cheating, he can't deny it. As days started to pass, Jimin became more weaker and weaker. By the time he reached for the 4th month, Yoongi has made Jimin so weak that Jimin have a own love on himself. Their lover is so weak that Yoongi didn't trust him. As Jimin argued with Yoongi, that saying that our baby can't live in this environment. If you are keep being like this, I will leave. Yoongi said, yeah, come with your boyfriend and here and there, and their argument gets so violent that Yoongi slapped him hard, almost that Jimin fall. Yoongi yelled at him and saying that Hana is better than you, she's more beautiful than you, she's more richer than you. She cheated, but she accepted that she cheated, and he cheated and you didn't even have a single amount of anything to accept that you cheated. Yoongi leaves the house that evening and Jimin left crying. He don't know what to do. He don't have any place to go. With what face he can go in front of Namjoon? If Yoongi tell him that Jimin cheated, Namjoon will believe his son only. Jimin don't have parents, no friends, nothing in Seoul. So he leaves without taking anything with him. Soon leaving a letter that saying he don't think that our baby should live in this environment. He didn't get angry on Yoongi. He didn't curse him. He just said, you will live a happy life without me. Because I can prove my innocent. No, you can trust me. he left. That evening, Yoongi overheard Hana before meeting her that she's saying that the plan was too good, that he would even trusting her and calling her for help. That Jimin is cheating on him, what should he do? It's very sweet. Yoongi confronted her and realized how Hana played with him again and again. After knowing everything, Yoongi rushed back home to make everything clear with Jimin, but when he enters the house, Jimin was not there. He was left. His house was left with unwarmth. The house felt colder, unfamiliar to him. As he found the letter, Yoongi read it through. Jimin didn't even get angry on him. He just said, I failed to make sure that you trust me. I trust you with all my heart, but maybe you failed it. Our baby don't deserve to live in such environment where his parents are just fighting and not talking anymore. So I'm just leaving Yoongi. Don't try to find me because I don't want to be found and nothing else. He just said that maybe in future Yoongi finds someone else he loves sincerely, not just by words but by action, by trusting them. As Jimin was not there anymore and Yoongi left alone with nothing in his hand. 4 years. That's how long Kim Yoongi searched for Jimin. The day he returned home and found nothing but the empty house, the light. Glass bottle covered the floor without saying a word. Hosok picked up every bottle and smashed it against the wall. You think drinking will bring him back? For the first time, Yoongi broke completely. I promised him, I promised I would never leave. But the worst punishment I was not losing Jimin. It came when Namjoon and Jin learned the truth. They come looking for their son. Instead, they found a broken yoongi. When he confesses everything that he had done to Jimin, cautioned, cautioned the baby's father, and even slapped him, silence filled the house. Then Namjoon's hand struck his face, not out of hatred but out of heartbreak. Jin couldn't stop crying. He called us mom and dad. He finally thought he had a family. Namjoon removed the Kim family ring from Yuki's hand. As of today, you are no longer worthy of our family name. You have only one responsibility left: bring our son home. If you can't, forget you ever had a parents. After that day, Yoongi searched alone, city after city, hospital after hospital, shelter after shelter. Every pregnant stranger made him stop. Every little child made his heart race. But 4 years now he never fed him tiny bites, but when his own child put around the little shoulder for the first time in life, his heart didn't feel empty. fever. Jimin rushed him to the clinic but couldn't afford the emergency deposit. Before he could beg again, someone quietly paid everything, brought the medicine, completed the paperwork, then disappeared. Jimin later learned it was yoongi. He hadn't asked for thanks. Haven't even tried to see June. He had simply held and left. For the first time, Jimin saw a different man, not the proud CEO, the heir of Kim Corporation, not the jealous husband, not the insecure one, just a father. Months later, Yoongi finally decided to leave after Jimin confronted him. He sent gifts for June and Jimin, a warm sweater, books, toys, flowers for Jimin, sweets, and everything the ad needed. Inside was a one short letter. I won't bother you anymore. I live far enough that people stop asking questions about us. But if you ever need me, call me with authority, not as a favor. As the right you still have over me. I always come. Even if you don't want me, I will ever come. For you, for my son, for our son. Then he disappeared, this time without asking Jimin to choose him. Month passed and suddenly Jimin realized something. The silence hurt.
hurts me. Why would you leave me? Hurts me.